Okay, so now we're thinking about gold, all right? Now, gold's like people, you know, it comes in all shapes and sizes and even colors. You know, it's got different variations in its colors. But one thing you want to understand is, you know, what are you trying to accomplish here? What are you trying to accomplish by panning? Well, what you're trying to accomplish is you're trying to get the gold, the heavy stuff, to get down to the bottom of the pan. Now, what you have to understand is you got a piece of gold. Now, if it's a little round piece of gold, it goes down pretty good. If it's a flat piece of gold, which in most cases it is, been mashed with rocks and everything else, it's been sitting in between and working and getting mushed. It came in a fine vein and a piece of that broke off and got flattened. All right, now picture all the rocks and gravel, okay? You got lots and lots of rocks and gravel of all sizes. Now you got a piece of gold. Now you want to get that piece of gold down to the bottom. So the gold comes down, boom, boom, boom. You know, it bounces off a rock, boom, and maybe it slides down, boom, 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 and you're washing it, washing. Now this is the big rock. I mean, you picture respectively going down. Okay, and it comes down to our little rock, boom, and it hits the top of our, and we're shaking it because we want it to get down, and then this rock is moving around, and it's going down. Now, and then what happens is there are other flat rocks. We'll take these leaves and picture them as different rocks. So our piece of gold comes down, boom, and hits that. All right, take this little stick, boom, and our piece of gold hits that, right? Okay, now, what we want, let me show you this. What we want is, we want that gold to get down here. But if it's sitting here, and let's say it's sitting there, and there's another rock sitting on top of it, and another rock and big rock, okay, and we're shaking. Now we're trying to get this guy past these. So we shake and we shake and shake, maybe it goes down one, and shake and shake and shake, and maybe it goes down a little bit more. And we shake and shake and shake and shake. And that's the whole, that's why you're shaking. Okay, you want to get that little piece of gold down to the bottom. But it's in layers. Now when it goes through the first layers, up at the top, things are light, boom, 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 it can work its way down fairly easily. As it progresses, other heavier elements, rocks, pebbles, sand, whatever the hell you want to call it, is down there. So now it can't get so far so fast. It starts hitting all that other stuff. Now you're shaking and shaking and shaking and shaking and shaking, and you're rinsing off the lighter stuff and rinsing off the lighter stuff and shaking and shaking and shaking and shaking, and this thing is working its way down, but it ain't at the bottom. So as you're rinsing, you got to be mindful of where it is. And remember those ones that are hooked onto the other ones, the hitchhikers. You got to be mindful of them, because remember, they're not going to go down so fast. So you may find a little piece of white quartz, and you look at it and it looks like a white quartz, but flip it over and it's got a little hitchhiker on it. Okay, watch for the hitchhikers. Alright, and for you kids out there, never ever hitchhike. Bad mojo. There's people out there. Bad. Anyway, so you're shaking that down. Now we get down to the black sand. All right, now we got the black sand. And what happens with black sand? Black sand is the last stuff that's in there, and a lot of the fine gold is down there in the black sand, because black sand is heavy. Well, because it's heavy, it starts condensing. Now the gold sits on top of the black sand. Now you've got down all the rest. It got down fine. Now it's hitting the black sand. Well, the black sand's dense. You shake it around, the black sand gets denser, and it's harder to get through that. When you get down, getting close to that black sand, be careful, because it can stratify within the black sand. And so you do a lot of shaking, and you just keep working at that process. You keep working at that process. There ain't no quick way to get through it. Unless you're speed panning for a contest, then they got light sand and BBs or whatever the hell they use. But that's a different game. When you're doing it for real, take it easy when you get to that. That's why they've got them little tinier pans, for doing that kind of cleanup, because you don't want so much volume of water washing stuff, because now we're getting down to the nitty gritty. Anyway, so we'll just keep doing this and see if there's anything at the bottom of our pan. We hope.